gotta cut and paste that shit, then we can just rock out. All right. All right, we good. Let's go. Ready? Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Just gotta turn that dumb ass on. All right.
Instant Grits Podcast. I'm your host, Devin, CEO of Determined Athletes, and I am determined to inspire. I'm here with my main guys today, so we got the whole crew today. I'm very happy, very excited. I feel like I got bodyguards because I'm sitting right in the middle. So first of all, we're here with Mr. Lopez. AKA. I'm not done. AKA the Black Spaniard. AKA Dame. What is your last name really Lopez? Why is it Lopez? Are you Spanish?
No, it's actually a married name.
Oh.
It has nothing to do with that.
AKA, what is your first name? How do you pronounce it?
It's Damon. D-A-M-O-U-N.
Damien or Damon?
Damon.
Damon.
Like on Friday.
That's right, tell him. Big David.
Yeah. Okay. Big Lolo. Okay. I gotta come up with some more. So now we're gonna move over. My other guys here. We got Patton. Okay, Big Tim, aka Timothy. Big Tree.
I like Big Tree. I
like Big Tree? How about Big Tree for a heart? Big Tree
no
for a
dice.
heart.
No dice.
No? Okay. Big Timbo. Timbo Patron. I know he doesn't drink.
At all.
Patrick. Kirkpatrick. Okay. Particles. He made me mad, so I got to call him Particles. Minimize his status. Yeah, Particles. He's little.
The little guy calling somebody little.
Patrickless off of Troy. Patrickless.
Can't.
Y'all remember that scene?
Off of Troy, yeah.
Like Patrickless.
Yeah, that's my movie right there.
AKA Little Timmy. Okay.
Yeah, that's my son.
Okay. Little Tim.
Sorry.
So what's y'all's for me? Y'all ain't got nothing for me yet?
Dev, AKA the Mongoose, AKA the Irritant.
The Irritant.
Yeah, you like Patrick?
Oh my God!
See, that's my guy.
That's disrespectful.
There we go.
Lopez
know what's up. P Bev in the house.
Oh my God.
That's perfect. You don't need nothing else with that.
Since I got mine, I'm gonna get
some more now. We're gonna give that like 7, yeah.
Oh no.
Love it.
That's not good at all.
That is. No. You see what Patrick Beverly doing to Kevin Durant.
He don't like this.
Greatest scorer in the game, we giving him problems.
You're gonna be the verbal P Bev.
There you go. That's perfect.
Verbal P Bev.
Very befitting. Very befitting.
I don't like that.
Okay, well, you have to get used to it.
Okay.
The verbal P Bev, I like it.
Okay. All right, listen. Anyway, what's the show about? Why we call it Instant Grits? Hey Patrick, why do we call this?
Why do we call the show Instant Grits?
Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be successful without putting in the work. So I think that's pretty much the underlying aspect of what we're focusing on.
Right.
And I think because we have unique perspective as educators, as basketball coaches, trainers, businessmen, and musicians, as you know, as we all do this type of stuff, we see how a lack of this firsthand really affects the mental toughness and the accountability, and it's really hurting our kids. It's hurting our community, and it's hurting our sports because we play basketball.
Right.
And the lack of accountability and mental toughness is crippling the self-awareness and personal development of our generation.
Absolutely.
And I know we talked about grits and how we like them, but Lopez was actually the originator. And why did it come to your mind when we was talking to call this actually Instant Grits? Because you made that topic up. You made that up.
I did. I was thinking about, of course, this generation and how they want things instantly. And I've tasted instant grits before, and they're terrible. So I was raised getting the grits the old traditional way, waiting for them, and then they're scrumptious when you get them.
Scrumptious.
But the kids would rather have the instant gratification of give it to me now, let me have it now, not understanding that the best is when you have to wait for it and you respect the process. So that's where instant grits came from.
Well, what's funny about this is I told my mom actually got mad at me real quick. She got
For
mad
that
because,
bacon grease.
yeah, but you know she didn't. For those that don't know, my mom made grits. She makes really good grits, and she doesn't pour like buckets of grease in the friggin' grits. You know, she
That's
just.
the visual you get.
Yeah, I know.
right?
That's what it's not a
Yeah.
bucket dumping of, you know what I mean, of grease. It was like it's a splash of grease to add just a little bit of a bacon.
It's not everything left over after she cooked the bacon. It's not
Well,
all that. It's
well,
just a little bit of it.
It's like I said, it's not a bucket. Stop trying to play. It's not a bucket. It's just a little bit to add some flavor. But no, like I said, I agree with y'all.
That's old school right there.
Yeah.
That is
That's old school.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's
You ask a kid about that now, they wouldn't even want no parts
They
of
look
that.
at you like you crazy,
Yeah.
man.
We want to pour grease in my grits?
Yeah,
No.
nah,
Bad enough I had to wait 20 minutes for them.
exactly. They want the microwave minute 30.
So boom. So that's why we call it instant grits. We love grits. We don't like the
Yes.
instant grits, but we
Yes.
also respect the process and realize that anything takes hard work worth having.
Mhm.
So with that being said, the only thing we ask of you is to refer a friend, give us a nice review, share your comments. We're on Spotify now.
Yeah.
That took a lot of time, but we got that done. We're on Spotify, Google Play. We're gonna be on SoundCloud. We got iTunes waiting, just waiting on that.
Mhm.
We're all over the place. You can go to instantgrits.podbean.com, and that's where all of our episodes are going to be. So just spread the word, give us a 5-star review, help us get up there so that we can help affect more people. Like I said, I don't believe in motivating, because motivation is temporary. That sparks something, I think, temporarily. We're trying to inspire, which is going to drive other people to do things
Yeah.
on a more grandiose level, more grand scale.
Yeah. The
So,
mindset change.
yeah, mindset change. Everything starts with you. So please vote and spread the word. With that being said, the accountability challenge of the week. I know Patrick was running from one because real quick,
Listen,
Patrick
man,
was running because
I
I got you.
Go ahead. I know you got me.
No, I got you.
Okay.
'Cause
I
you-
was
you had
ready
this-
to explain. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You had the surgery. You had your little
Yeah.
baby
So
teeth.
listen,
He had his teeth
yeah, you
pulled.
trying to be funny. You trying to be funny.
Yo,
So
Patrick had his scrape.
3 wisdom teeth yanked out.
Yeah.
Did not go to sleep.
Whoa, you didn't. They didn't.
No, they did not.
That's a trick dice.
Right. So I
Wait.
felt the.
You was up while they did it?
I was awake. I was awake. They gave me something.
You can feel the
this was
punches and hear it.
Oh, I felt the pressure.
Oh,
So
man.
brother said to me, you know, Mr. Patton, we gonna give you something to just, you know, kind of relax you. Now, I'm like, relax? What the hell? No, I don't need to feel nothing. I don't even need to see you. But they got me something that made me a little sleepy. Gave me something that made me a little sleepy, and then it didn't take me under. So I'm hearing a move. I'm hearing metal twisting and clanking, and you know, I hear this machine. Okay, I kept my eyes closed because I really didn't want to see it coming, but they started digging in my mouth. I'm like, I kind of feel that. Maybe you know, whatever, the numbing device didn't work yet. And then they put some more numbing stuff in my mouth or whatever. Then they start pulling and yanking. I'm like, okay, wait, I'm not supposed to feel this pressure, but I can hear the crunch. I can feel something leaving. Like, this ain't cool. The only thing
So you
that
didn't
didn't
tell
have,
me
huh?
You didn't tell me that.
Because I'm a real one, so I wasn't gonna tell you that. I just let you make fun of me and oh, my baby teeth. But no, bro, I was up throughout the whole joint. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm still talking
Me,
because this
me-
topic today, I still gotta run my
I
mouth
was
on.
very sorry.
You know what, little guy?
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I
It's all right.
never
I
heard,
wish
I
that
never
was-
heard of people being awake for it.
Yeah,
I
normally,
always thought they were
and here's the thing. I'm not gonna shout the company out because I may have a lawsuit coming or something. But I was charged for sedation. Now they may say that, you know, the sedation was the little crap that the boy put in the IV to quote unquote relax me. I could relax my damn self. I needed to be out, so I didn't have to feel that. You know.
Yeah, you didn't feel any pain, just pressure.
I can't say that I felt pain. I did feel pressure. I did feel
Pressure counts. That counts.
like it being uncomfortable. You know, but I knew pain was coming. So probably maybe 20 minutes after I left, you can start feeling that, you know, that ache, you know, that ache in the gums, and then after that, man, this last week was just tough
That
for me.
sucks,
So,
bro.
you know.
Like, I'm not even trying to play.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, man, but you know, the show must go on. So
Hold on. Have you
We
had
here.
yours?
No, I was about to say, I was fortunate. I had mine checked, I guess, when I was like 19, and they never grew down. So they
Oh,
said you
wow.
might have to.
So you still
Oh,
got
you gotta worry about it.
Yeah, the bottom ones I don't have at all. There's
That's
nothing
love.
there. And
That's
the top
love.
ones, she said they never came down, so I never had to do it. So no, I'm
Listen.
fortunate.
Listen to me. This is just a bad.
it's the wisdom teeth story.
This is a wisdom tooth story. Real quick. I was 19. My dad dropped me off. They put me under, and I was okay with it, right? Took out all 4.
See, at least you was under.
No, exactly. So
Yeah.
the worst part of it was that was my first time under anesthesia. So just keep that in mind. That's my first time under.
Okay.
Okay. So when I woke up from these 4, I woke up. My mouth was all bloody. Right. I woke up to a woman picking me up out of the seat, saying, "Hey, you have to get out of here right now." Right.
What?
Yeah. She said, "You have to go." I remember saying, I literally just woke up. I'm looking around, disoriented. 5 seconds, and my eyes open, and I have a woman grabbing me, saying, "You have to get out of here right now. You have to go." So I'm like, "What?" So I'm all disoriented. So I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" Now it's a long hallway.
my God.
It's an elevator. I think they're carrying me to the elevator. I'm thinking there's some illegal activity going on because right now I'm still trying to process what's happening here.
Right.
I get on the elevator. They throw me in the elevator like a movie, like blow. I'm like, "Oh no!" Boom. My dad is in the elevator and he's yelling or screaming and cursing somebody out. They're like, and then on the elevator, I pass out in the elevator. He picks me up. He throws me. Okay, it's not a parking lot. Okay, it wasn't a parking lot. We go behind like a back door entrance.
Oh yeah, see, that's one of them little crook places.
See,
man.
it was something weird.
Yeah.
It's an alley. He throws me in the car. I'm like, blow. I fall. I'm knocked out in the front seat. He drives off and I can't make that up.
Wow.
But why? I don't even understand.
I have no idea, Lopez.
I thought you were going to say like it was a fire drill. You woke
I
up during
have
some kind of.
no
See,
idea.
that's
to this
one
day.
of them joints. They be selling body parts and illegal stuff be going
You
on
have
or
to
whatever,
go.
man.
You gotta get out of here right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what I woke up to.
Never heard that.
Not a hey, how are you feeling? Not a bedside manner.
Not even a
Yeah,
train.
a gentle wake up,
just,
nothing.
Just
Get
sit
out
out
of
a minute,
here.
get yourself together, and
No.
then just get up.
You gotta go now, bro.
That's crazy.
Your dad struck a deal with somebody.
No, don't put that on him. Don't put that. Shout out to my pops. Okay, but nah, like I said, it was a referral. So I think we just didn't know what was happening when we got
Yeah,
there. But
that's ugly.
wisdom teeth suck. This is like the worst room for wisdom teeth,
Indeed.
except for Lopez because he's over here cheesing with all his. Look at
Yeah,
him, look at him, Lance.
Hey, man.
Yeah, look, I
You made up.
I seen multiple people get it done, and I'm like I said, I'm fortunate.
Not pretty. Not pretty.
So
I had a regular tooth pulled. That's enough.
that's yeah, that sucks too. I don't like the smell of smoke.
Yeah.
That friction when they be on that tooth, when you
All
smell
that. Yeah,
smoke
no,
coming
no,
out
no,
your
no,
mouth,
no.
bro.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I don't want to be
See,
no
I don't
dragon.
want to see that.
You don't want to smell that either. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Accountability challenge. What are we doing this week, Patton?
This week we are doing
Add to
the
this.
water accountability challenge.
And
What's the and? That's the one I picked. You got another one?
be adding.
We adding.
That's
Okay,
the
so
reason. I
let
drink
me
a
do
gallon of water.
Let me do the
Can-
water one.
Let me
and
get a
then
quick explanation of the accountability challenge
Accountability challenge.
for those out there.
I'm
There
all
you
about
go.
accountability. Everything starts with you. Okay. You can be a millionaire. You cannot be a millionaire. You can have dreams and aspirations. You might want to go D1 as a basketball player, but everything starts with you. Have you shot enough? Have you done this? Have you tried to lose weight? Okay. Everything starts with you.
I like
The
that.
world
Yeah.
would be completely different when they say let's pray for world peace and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
My man Sandis broke this down to me real clearly. If everybody became accountable, everything was changed just like that.
Mhm.
If you really, really get down to what the true essence of the definition of the word means.
Sure.
So for our accountability challenges, we're going to start doing weekly ones to push us and to hold each other accountable. Why? Because it's hard to do things alone, and I want people to realize that they're not alone when they're going through things. That they have a Dev pushing Patton, Patton pushing me in the weight room, Lopez coaching, opening up the gyms for everybody. We can all be a team, and I want to grow this and turn this into a community and a movement. So
I like that.
it starts with
Yeah.
us, though.
That work?
I can't preach about it if I'm not doing it.
True.
I can't. So
True.
the accountability challenge, you said, boom, what was it?
So the starting first with the water challenge. It's something real basic, but
How much?
a gallon of water a gallon of water a day. Believe it or not, and
That's only 4 bottles, right?
yeah, look, maybe a little bit more,
It's a little
but
more.
you
64
know,
ounces.
right,
Excuse
right.
me. That's right, right?
yeah, yeah.
This is bad.
I think what happens is there's some type of algorithm that's calculated where you're supposed to drink your body weight. You know, supposed to be some type of comparison and
Like
a certain
your
amount of
body weight
water. Right,
versus, yeah.
right. So with that, you know, most people go through the day. They may drink a bottle
I think
or
you're right.
two.
I read
you
something
know
saying
what I
like
mean?
if you're 200 pounds, it's like 128.
Right.
Ounces
It's like right.
something.
It's right. It's like ounces to pounds or whatever.
Mhm.
And you know, long story short, water is you know does a ton of things for us. There's a ton of health benefits, but we just don't drink enough water. You know, as people in general.
Water is hard to drink when you're not thirsty.
It's very
I
hard.
was just
And
talking to the kid about that.
That's
It's very
why
difficult
that's
to
why it's a
drink.
challenge.
And that's why it's not gonna be a challenge for me because I'm always in the gym working.
Yeah.
So I want to knock this out.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to make it
It's gonna be
harder.
harder for me.
That's
And
it.
I need it though. But this is a good one.
Let's
Yeah.
make it harder, okay?
I need it.
Okay.
Let's go according to our body weight.
Okay.
So we'll research this, and next time we on, we'll see how much water we need to be taking. For now, we'll do a gallon. Okay?
Yeah, because to me a gallon.
Next week
a
though,
gallon
we're
will
going
cover,
we're going
you know, a lot of
accordingly
people.
to our
Okay,
body
that's
layout.
cool. That works.
So a gallon a day. Okay.
Gallon a day.
I'm bringing in paperwork. We signing this out.
Yep.
'Cause
That's
y'all
cool.
ran for
I'm
me the
with
first time.
No dice. Never run. Never run.
You ran.
Didn't.
I showed you
Did
video
not.
footage of me doing. Oh, and we doing 50 push-ups today. That's it.
Okay.
50 a day.
You
and
did.
20 a
You
gallon.
don't gotta be all done at the same time. Not like me, because y'all not, you know what I mean.
I mean, well, you only weigh 95 pounds. It's kind of easy to get, 50 done at one
You
time.
said
So yeah.
50 at one time?
No,
Or 50?
I'm just saying, me personally, because I'm so,
Total.
I'm in fantastic shape.
Yeah.
Shout out, I've lost 15 pounds, guys.
Wonderful.
Good.
Wonderful.
Actually,
Good
you
job,
lost
brother.
10.
I lost 10, but not. Yeah.
No, but you good.
I lost 10 by way of not being able
Hey,
to eat.
You lost.
So yeah, we'll take it. We'll
Let's-
stay.
you-
I
That's your
lost
jump
10.
start. That's your
You're
jump
right.
start.
There you go. I'll
And,
take
and
that.
Lopez, I don't know if he's lost any weight, but Lopez is always in the gym balling.
There you go.
So we're doing
So I
good.
should be on my way, yeah. So I have to start taking my weight and see where I'm at.
You're good to go. Hold on, because, hold on. Ashley,
He logging in there for me.
I am. So here's what we're gonna do. We're
Alright.
doing, and then we're done with this.
Okay.
Gallon of water this week,
Yes.
50 push-ups.
Gallon of water, everybody. 1 gallon of water per day. You
If y'all
start in the
want-
morning, sip it all the way through.
If
the
y'all
day.
want to join, I tell you what, we'll even come out with some prizes or something. So if you do it, comment on one of the hosting platforms that we're on,
Mhm.
and let us know that you're doing it too. Like I said, I want us all to be doing this. If
Yeah.
you're not a chicken, like Patrick. Because I sent him a video. I sent you a video, Pat, and you fried me. You ain't even respond.
This
Did
guy sends me a video.
you? I'm home in DC chilling with my family.
I'm on roughly about 2,100 milligrams of
You
ibuprofen
know what I hear?
just to breathe.
Hold on, Lopez.
I really don't want to hear nothing, see
I think
nothing,
I know what I hear, Lopez.
whatever. That's you can hear what you want. I know what I felt, so I wasn't trying to see no challenge, no nothing. Push up, man. Listen, push this pain away from me.
Accountability.
Okay, so that's why this week
Run
we doing the water
You're
and
back-
I'll do the push
Your
up.
back trees
Far.
are good. Your
I'm
back
here
trees-
though. I'm here.
He's back
So we
now.
gonna
No,
do it.
Lopez ran too. Lopez outside was trying to tell me.
I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it, but I,
So come on, bro. You gotta clarify these challenges.
Oh, you
bro.
talking to me?
Yeah,
Lopez?
you.
I'm
you,
looking at
you
Lopez.
gotta,
no.
right. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
why I
You gotta
said,
clarify.
kid, it clarifies.
It
We
was
can all
very
be on the
simple.
same page.
Yeah,
Now I'm
it
in. Now I'm in.
I said, do 50 push-ups. That's it. Like, what's up with that? Why isn't that so hard to be?
I didn't know the why. I didn't know where it came from. I didn't know if it was for me too.
Because I
I
texted
thought
you.
Pat lost.
No, I texted you. It's a group. it's a group chat.
I gotta
Yo,
show you how it came through on my phone,
Okay.
because it came through real weird on your
This
on
is-
Android.
Is it-
It
what
was-
is this?
It was the Android text, and that's
Okay.
Oh my God.
Now it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, somehow it didn't come through.
We know our listening audience. The majority of you guys are team iPhone, and we love you for that. And we know the rest of the Android people. We know y'all gonna come over eventually. But that's what happens sometimes when it comes through from Android to iPhone. It looks a little weird sometimes. Like, what is this? What's going on? So that's probably what happened. Okay.
It's lost.
Do
No
you-
place clear that up
Everybody,
for
y'all
us.
hear all these excuses they making? I was home with my family. I was spending
translation.
time with my family. I had a funeral. I was still getting it in sad. I was sad doing my push-ups.
Understandable motivation. I understand.
your push-ups.
I got you.
Lopez.
I'm gonna do them.
So-
you got to do your push-ups.
50 a day
Yes, sir.
for the week.
50 a day.
So I'm gonna do an additional 50
Don't-
each day to make up for what you saying I ran from.
Oh, this is on
How about
air.
that?
This is
How
on
about
air.
it's fine. That's why I'm putting that out
You
there.
trying to be on my level.
No dice. No dice.
You trying to be on Lopez level.
Maybe yeah.
Well,
I mean,
'Cause
Lopez.
you're a little crazy.
I'm just saying. So it's clear. So I'm gonna go back and we're gonna listen to this,
Okay.
and we need to do weekly check-ins or every day. Y'all need to see.
I'm gonna send. We gonna send them. We gonna send it.
I'll take
Yeah,
it for your
listen.
word. We don't have to do video confirmation, but I trust
We gonna
that
send
you
it
guys are
complete.
men of integrity.
Absolutely. Guaranteed.
Lopez, are you a man of
I'm a
integrity?
man of integrity.
You're the black Spaniard. You need
I'm
to
a
be.
man of integrity.
Gladiator.
I'm a man of integrity.
Do you have no honor? Come on, Russell
I
Crowe.
have honor.
Oh, man.
What was his name? Pat?
So let it be written. So let it be
So
done.
that,
I
there
got
you go.
Hold on.
Ramses.
What was Russell Crowe's name in that joint? Maximus.
Maximus, yeah.
Maximus.
Maximus Decimus
Black,
Meridius. I
that's
will
you.
do it.
That's you. Black Spaniard. Okay. Tuesdays, we're doing Tuesday top fours. Patton, explain it.
Tuesday top four. So generally we're going to be talking about sports. various different sports categories. We're all basketball guys, so it's gonna be basketball heavy. But we're gonna get into some football stuff, some baseball, and other sports. But what it'll be is we'll take the top 4 of whatever the topic is that we're talking about, and there's going to be one person out of that top 4 that has to be taken away, and all their accomplishments, and
Everything. Right?
we have to provide sound facts, reasoning.
Facts. Let me echo you.
Of what?
Sound facts.
Thank you.
That's fine.
Of why this person is being taken away, why their accomplishments are being stricken from the book for all time.
Okay, let me jump in real quick. We're not going to go there yet, but I got this from Kevin on Stage. Do you know Kevin on Stage Lopez? He's a funny
Kevin
comedian.
on Stage, funny cat.
Okay,
man.
so he does a 4 actors joint. Okay, and here's what I saw the episode where he said 4 actors, one's got to go. He said Denzel Washington. I think this was the order. Denzel Washington, everything he's done. Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman, and Sidney Poitier.
That's tough, man.
He said one has to go. At first, when I first said it, I was like, psh, that's easy.
And it's
I can't. I was about to say it was easy because I was like, I can't take out Denzel and I can't take out Sidney.
No.
This is me personally. I want to hear what
Well,
y'all
Sidney
say.
can't go anywhere.
Sam
He
was
can't.
in everything.
But then I was like, Sam, because
Man,
He's been
Sam is
everything. He's been
Sam,
everything.
he's crossed all of the.
okay, so hold on. So I'm gonna go with mine real quick, and this is gonna hurt. Okay, I can't take off Sidney Poitier and Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is that's like your elder.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman
Can't
is
disrespect
the,
your elders
yeah,
like that.
no dice.
Sidney can't go nowhere.
No, he started that.
Dang, you can't disrespect the elders. So then it comes down to Denzel and Samuel L. And this hurts because my mom tells me almost every day that my dad is Denzel. I think Denzel might have to go.
Ooh, and okay. So before I, what's your
And I love him.
rationale for it?
I love Denzel. He's my favorite actor. One of them. But
Training Day.
that's the only.
Training
Is
Day
that
gotta
the-
go.
Hold on. Training Day, Malcolm X.
Oh man, Malcolm X. come on.
Training Day, Malcolm
That's-
X. He does some other ones. Remember the Titans?
I mean, yeah.
Blues.
Movement Blues, yeah. Ricochet. He got a ton of them, man.
How many more?
Oh
He's
my
done
God.
some Preacher's Wife soundtrack
Oh man,
is
come
tough.
on, man.
But that was kind of weird. That was a weird plot. I mean, like, she's married and he flirting, he an angel.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, he
Denzel's on some weird
played it
stuff
good.
on that.
Yeah, in that movie, in that one.
Great
He
movie,
allowed
though.
one. He's allowed one.
Okay.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Now, hold on. Let's name some of Samuel.
He's been in everything.
Listen,
he's
I'm-
been in
I'm-
Star Wars,
Avengers. He's
Avengers,
like it's,
Quentin Tarantino joints.
I watched Endgame 2 times last night. you
Listen,
know?
I watched it. I watched it
I've
yesterday.
watched
with
it
my
about
son.
45 times.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, not Endgame.
Not
You talking
Endgame. My
about,
bad. Take 2.
You talking about the Infinity
Infinity
War?
Infinity
I
War,
watched
yeah.
Infinity War.
Endgame
twice.
coming out this week,
Oh man.
Thursday, in Delaware. So, cause I got my ticket already. I'm
did
going to
for
see it at 10:35 at nighttime.
At night.
Yes.
I like to go in the morning, so I might have to take off a day.
I thought about that. Since I can't take off a day, I'm going to see it at night.
Okay.
3
Yeah,
hours.
I go to the theater every Tuesday for movies.
Where? They cheap?
Yeah, yes sir.
Where?
I go to Regal Cinema in Springfield.
Okay, so if y'all don't know, this is based out of Philly. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm not from Philly. I'm from DC. Moved up here, so I'm in
Yeah.
Philly. So we're talking about Philly stuff. So y'all any Philly spots with some cheap tickets or good food? Send in the comments.
Yeah, we had to throw that in. But back to the argument. Samuel L. has.
But do the same thing with Morgan though. So, what are Morgan's classics?
Oh my God!
His
See,
classic
but
stuff.
His classics before the movies, the Electric Company. You
What?
can't take the Electric Company away. The Electric Company was like a show, like on par with like Sesame Street back in the '70s.
I don't remember
Oh,
that.
yeah, I
That's
remember.
oh man, that was like if you heard of Schoolhouse Rock and Sesame Street and all that.
Okay.
Electric Company was the first.
I've heard of it. I didn't know
And
he
then
was on it though.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I think he did some soap opera stuff, and then he broke into, movies.
Old, right? A little.
Like
older.
yeah, a little older. I want to say like late '80s and
Yeah.
early '90s. But
Well, what are
he
his
ran it.
classics though? So you got
Driving Miss Daisy.
Driving Miss Daisy,
Of
Seven.
course,
Samuel
Seven
Jackson.
is a classic.
Huh?
Samuel L?
No, Morgan Freeman. No, Morgan Freeman.
No. Morgan can't go nowhere. Morgan stayed.
No, but
Well, he provided the rationale for why
All right, so if
he
you're
stayed.
saying with Denzel, let's look at his classics. I'm saying for Morgan, because you're doing nostalgia because he's older and you want to give him that respect, but all of them deserved it.
Glory.
So let's go.
Damn,
That's
Glory.
Denzel too, though.
Yeah, that's a tough
Yeah.
Driving Miss
That
Daisy
is
and
the
Glory alone, and he speaks
is
on
the
everything.
job.
How can you take his voice out of
He
our
does, but,
history?
I mean, but think about how many classics does he have compared
He
to
got more.
Denzel? Did more than Denzel?
I would think so, just based
Name
on
them.
I can't because like
We just said Glory, Seven.
Yeah, we gonna have to
Driving
pull
Miss
the list
Daisy.
on that one. That's
Driving Miss
a tough
Daisy.
one.
Is that it? That can't
No,
be it.
no. He has
He was in Jim Carrey.
He has so much. Yeah, Morgan in so much stuff. You gotta remember all the stuff.
He was the principal. What was
Shawshank Redemption.
Eastside Hydrant.
Yeah. Lean on me. He got a lot of them that you kind of
Those are arguably.
Those are classics.
Those are classics. Denzel's classics. Yeah. Okay. Sydney ain't going nowhere. I don't even want to talk about him because I don't know nothing about him.
To Serve with Love, and they call me Mr. Tibbs. That's it.
A Patch of Blue.
So then, hold on.
Yeah. Guess who's coming to dinner?
Hold on.
Uptown Saturday Night,
Fun.
Yeah,
all those joints. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
Guys. Samuel.
You know, I will say him because he doesn't have that movies he carried. He was in a lot of stuff, but he didn't carry a lot of movies. Because this like you got Black Snake Bone. Yeah. Which was just all right. Wasn't a classic.
To Kill a Mockingbird.
He wasn't in that.
He wasn't in there. See, I started putting him in stuff like. What's the one I'm thinking about? No. What's the one I'm thinking about that's based off a book? Samuel L. That's based off of a book.
See, you thinking too much about it. He out.
Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't have that many that he carries.
This ain't even what we supposed to be talking about, but he out.
Yeah, that's not Shaft. Shaft was pretty good.
Okay, yeah, Shaft was good.
Yeah, was it?
It's not a classic, but
it's not a classic. I'm just throwing.
Okay.
All right.
So anyway, so like I said, Kev on stage he does these a lot. So then I was like, yo, you know what? Let's figure this out with sports, and let's focus on basketball. And when I presented this topic to Pat, and I think I presented Lopez for months. I was in another gym and I bring this topic up, and it gets a lot of discussion, right?
Yeah,
it really does. It's really good. So I said, Kirkpatrick, give me your top 4 bigs.
Okay.
And give me your.
Now let's
preface this.
You guys are going to decide this for us. Those of you who are basketball, so we're going to present the argument, but you guys are going to decide this for us because it's going to be ongoing probably until we're like old and gray and can't really talk anymore.
Okay.
So now, can I also say that the perspectives, right, that we offer are from actually all 3 realms of the game. So we have the post,
very true.
We have the point, and we have the perimeter.
True.
In the building. So those are going to be the perspectives that these arguments are going to come from.
Very good point.
Lopez, you better stay on that, Lopez. You better stay up. No, because you tried to fry me with Iverson.
And that's exactly why I brought it because I want to make sure that we don't disappoint.
You gotta keep you in check a little bit. Like Spaniard over here lunching. You want some other stuff? Go ahead, let's list them. What are they?
So okay, so we're agreeing to the list.
With this. Hold on.
My list.
Your list.
Top 4 big men all time.
Go ahead.
Wilt Chamberlain. Not in any. This is not in any order. Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal. See, every time I say Hakeem Olajuwon, this guy wants to laugh.
Listen.
Wants to laugh.
So
those are the 4. Those are the 4.
Okay.
One of them.
One more time, go.
One more time. Wilt Chamberlain. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a.k.a. Lou Alcindor.
Yeah, some people know that.
Hakeem Olajuwon.
Hakeem Dream.
Shaquille Rashawn O'Neal.
The big Aristotle.
The big Socrates. So, out of those 4.
One's got to go. Just go with yours first.
One and all their accomplishments have to go.
Who stays?
This is who I said and who I believe should stay.
I won't interrupt you. Go ahead.
Wilt Chamberlain.
Not yet, at least, until I hear something stupid.
100 points. Where you take him? You can't take him off the list. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 38, 337, all-time leading scorer in NBA history.
What are those numbers? He averaged that?
No, that's his points.
That's very impressive that you know that. You Ralph Hands.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Hakeem
He's impressive.
Olajuwon.
Okay.
So we have off the list, in my opinion, Big Shaq. Now.
Okay, no.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let me jump in here.
Go ahead.
All right, I had to disagree with that list.
Let's hear it. No.
So I'm gonna give you.
Let's hear them all first, and then we'll.
So Wilt, I will keep on there because of his accomplishments. He was ahead of his time, although it was questionable against the competition he played against. But I'll keep Wilt on there.
Black Spaniard, we just listen. We're gonna talk about.
Okay. So Wilt, Lou, and Shaq stays on.
Oh!
Why do you not?
Yes.
But why do you?
Yes.
What is funny about
yes.
that? What is funny?
Right
about
at
that?
you.
And that's
I'm
okay.
sorry. Let me
That's
emotional
perfectly
control.
fine.
I'm sorry.
That's perfectly fine.
As
I
you
will
were
defend. I will defend my list.
So say one more time.
So again, Wilt, Sweet Lou,
Okay.
and the Diesel stays on.
Okay.
Okay. I don't think I have to say anything. Lopez has been swayed. I think I've convinced Lopez.
And that's fine, but again, since I'm the outlier, it's 2 against 1, which is fine. I'm perfectly okay
Just
with
so
that.
people will notice, I said, same thing. I agree with your first 2. I agree with your first 2 as well, Lopez.
Doesn't matter. If you don't agree with the list, you don't agree
Hold
with
on.
it. So here.
No.
What is
Wilt Chamberlain, right? Wilt Chamberlain stays.
Got you.
Kareem stays.
Mhm.
Hakeem out of there, bro.
So again, what because we set the parameters in the beginning. So number 1, give me the rationale, and let's keep in mind because we did just say this not 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
You have 3 different perspectives
Mm-hmm.
in the building. You have a guard's perspective,
Yes.
a wing's perspective. Guess who played in the post? I'm just saying. Okay, you got that perspective. So from all 3 perspectives and rationales,
Well,
how is it that you guys agree with that list?
well, first of all,
And if you can convince me,
no,
you don't got nothing to. That's it.
You're too stubborn.
I'm not convinced me.
I-
Convince me.
Nobody can convince you because you're fixed. You have a fixed mindset,
I-
which is
I
against
don't.
educational
No, I
principles.
really don't. I really don't have a fixed
Are you
mindset.
open to be convinced?
I am. That's why I'm asking.
Everybody, he's lying. I know Patrick. I've known Patrick since I've been in Philly. He's lying to you right now.
I'm not. I'm really
That's
not
you're
lying.
You're a liar.
I'm going to present my argument,
Listen,
and you
listen,
know,
my whole thing, because I am a guard, so I
Mhm.
get y'all there. But sheer size and mass, Justin Miller, my guy who you've met before,
mm-hmm. Shout out to Big Justin.
because Patrick had me convinced that Hakeem has to stay. He did until he convinced me because I was like, okay, Shaq was the most dominant guy that we said in our generation, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't coach 7-1,
330.
330 because
Mhm.
after it's going to be a decision. A decision's going to have to be made.
Okay.
It's going to be like, listen, I'm going to take this ball, and it's coming from a guard, so I appreciate. You can't do nothing with that. Like Patrick, if I'm trying to check you,
I got you. I
If-
understand. I understand.
you're going to make a decision up and just like, this dude is too little.
Mhm.
And if I'm the biggest and the baddest, if I'm the T-Rex, if I'm the apex predator, if I'm the alpha male,
Mhm.
it's a wrap.
Okay. So again,
Same thing for Wilt.
I'm waiting for the rationale
That's
before
all I needed to
before
say.
I come back.
He got
Because
buckets. He had moves. When he was younger, he
Because-
ran like a deer. I realized you got some other stuff you wanted to say, but
I do. There's a ton of stuff I can say. I'm just waiting for the
it's-
rationale.
The rationale is dominate. If you're gonna use the word
Dominate.
dominate,
Okay. So
That's
here,
what
so let
everybody
me
uses.
let me offer this tort to the rationale. Were you guys around in 1995?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a young boy.
So dominant,
Mhm.
7-1, run like a deer.
Okay.
NBA's biggest stage, NBA Finals. He ain't win a damn game.
So
Who they play against? Uh-oh.
So you can argue with that point, Jermaine. I'm glad you brought that up. You can argue, or I can make an argument that the only reason that he had the dominant 2-year reign was only because a certain somebody left the game.
Ooh.
Because outside of those 2 years, how many years was the
No.
dream?
That's not what I'm arguing. What I'm saying is on the biggest stage.
You saying
He
he lost
definitely
against
was. You
Hakeem Olajuwon?
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Hakeem
is
was
a young Shaq. You're right. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Shaq himself, the Diesel himself said, it wasn't nothing I could do with him. I tried everything. I tried to push him. I tried to push. So now
called
you have
respect.
dominant.
That's called
You
respect.
have domination, like you guys are saying. He's big. He made up in his mind. Listen, I'm going to dominate Hakeem, and he didn't.
Whoa, I saw an interview. No.
He didn't dominate Hakeem.
Hakeem said, just because
It
Hakeem
was
doesn't
done.
react does not mean he still wasn't getting.
No, he was getting.
Worked.
He was. But see, to me,
He
domination
just did it with a
includes the
smile on
win.
his face. He just did it with a-
Domination includes the win to me. Like Shaq
That's-
had a great game. He
That's
put up
1
great
year.
numbers.
Okay, cool.
But that's the only time they went head to head on the biggest stage.
You taking Shaq off the list?
I got to.
No, you don't.
And here's my reason.
You don't have to do that,
Here-
Pat.
here's
You
my
can
reason.
honestly don't. You don't have to do
No,
that.
that's
here-
not a good.
You can
here's
be
my-
with us.
No, I just said that's the one tort. That's not my reasoning. My reasoning is, had you not seen Wilt Chamberlain, like, what are you qualifying domination as? Is it just numbers? Is it just sheer power and size?
Both.
Is it wins?
Both.
Like, what do you?
All
Okay,
of that is a
so if that's
combination
the,
of it.
all of that is a
I'll
combination.
take that into
of it,
account because you're
Then,
making my
then I
point.
can't. No, I can't. See,
Absolutely.
then I can't. So are you factoring in championships?
Why not? I said yeah.
If you're factoring in championships,
He got
Bill
rings.
Russell's not on this list. He has 11.
This is your list.
He's a bit. No, I'm just
But he
saying.
doesn't,
I'm
but he
just
doesn't
saying.
have the numbers, so he doesn't have the.
Okay,
dominant
cool.
numbers.
So we talking more so numbers.
No, we're saying numbers and championships.
Okay,
So all
numbers
four
and
of them are saying
championships.
they have
Okay. So Hakeem, so for the fact that Shaq has more championships, is that why he stays?
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying, so when you made the argument about 95, right?
That was just a tort. That wasn't even the
That was
argument.
one.
That was just
So
yeah.
Lakers Shaq would have had a different thing to say to the Dream had he played them in their primes. That wasn't Shaq's prime. That was very early Shaq. He was good, but he wasn't approaching his. He was approaching his prime.
Convince
He wasn't
us.
adding.
Convince us why
I
Hakeem
can't,
should stay. Convince us why Hakeem should stay.
Because I like I said, if you hadn't seen Wilt and his domination, and then the argument was, okay, Wilt didn't play against anybody, but I can carry that same argument over to Laker Shaq. When Laker Shaq came into his prime, who was he really going against on a consistent basis that was comparable anywhere near his stratosphere? You were talking about
what years later?
So Laker Shaq, they started winning championships what in 2000?
Yeah, I think so.
You want to start there?
Okay.
Okay, so you had an aging David Robinson who was on his way out.
Mm.
Name me another big.
Patrick.
You had Patrick Ewing, aging Patrick Ewing was on his way out. Hakeem was aging, he was on his way out. Name me another big that you could even throw in there. Are we gonna say Yao Ming?
I mean, for the sake of combo, sure.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay,
Go
come
ahead.
on. And that's one.
But the whole thing is,
Nah, he killed
it doesn't
Sabonis.
matter.
And Sabonis was aging. He was at the end of his career.
it doesn't matter who we're naming. It doesn't matter if they was in a prime or not. A prime Shaq. It doesn't matter if he's playing against
But
David
see,
Robinson, Patrick Ewing.
But I don't think you can say that.
Yes, you
though.
can.
If you're gonna say that about Wilt, then Wilt should be the most dominant of all time.
Okay.
If that's the argument.
We're using the word domination with Wilt, and we're using it again
Right.
with
So,
Shaq.
but you're
That's-
saying the
that's
most. You're saying the most dominant. You're saying the most dominant since we've been
I
alive,
said-
or the most dominant.
I'll go back
So-
and listen, but I didn't say generation, right? Or no?
Okay, so right. So if you're saying our generation, then of course I'm going to have to agree with that. But
You have to agree with
if
me.
no, of course I'm going to agree with that point. But
Okay.
my thing is, you've seen Wilt. You never saw anything like Kareem. Haven't seen it since, which I really don't understand why. That skyhook is. I mean, he's not the NBA leading scorer for no reason.
Hakeem is nasty though.
You've never seen a center be able to handle the ball like a guard, have that type of finesse, be able to play defense the way he does, be able to run the offense from the post, maybe other than somebody like a Bill Walton who wasn't that great offensively, but he can run the offense from the post. Hakeem had everything. In his earlier days, he ran the floor like a deer. He had power. He could do everything at the center position.
But
And he won championship.
But he also did it in a time where it looked good, but it wasn't needed, right? So if you look at the three,
What is that?
Where?
Okay,
Yeah,
look.
you got it.
look at the other three
I don't know
guys,
about
right?
that,
The other three guys were dominant with very limited physical abilities, right? So Wilt, let me finish.
Well, I'm listening.
All right, so Shaq didn't really have a go-to move besides the dunk and the jump hook. That was it.
Okay.
Of course, Lou had the hook shot,
Mhm.
right? He had a little bit more skill than Shaq and Wilt, but Wilt and Shaq were both physically dominating.
Mhm.
Wilt didn't have a real go-to move. He just finger rolled over everybody and dunked and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hakeem was the most skilled on the list because
Okay.
he had to be. He was shorter, and he just was more skilled than everybody else. He wasn't the physical dominant presence.
He was a finesse guy.
He's a finesse guy.
Was he?
But the era that he played in, so he played 80s, 90s, where it was a more physical brand of basketball, where a center can get away with being limited, but being able to be dominant. Right now, the dream would be good today
Ooh, are you
because
saying,
more bigs are stepping out and being more finesse.
I was about to say, are you saying Hakeem Olajuwon was soft in the 90s?
I'm not saying he was soft. I'm saying he was ahead of his time. I'm saying he was the transition.
Okay, I can agree with
right,
that.
the transition into what we have now. He was moving away from.
Okay.
Another point for why he stays. But go ahead.
Yeah, he was moving away from
Don't touch-
back to
don't
the
touch my
basket,
I'm sorry.
turning, elbowing, and just dunking on everybody.
Mhm.
Which is why I say he wasn't as dominant as the rest of them because he was more about finesse. He was more skilled, but he wasn't as dominant. Where those guys, Shaq walked in the building and said, "I'm either going to jump hook or dunk all night long, and nobody's going to stop it."
Mm-hmm.
So that's dominant. Kareem had the sky hook, which nobody could stop.
Kareem, that's a finesse move too, though.
It is
Kareem wasn't a lot of power.
He
wasn't a lot
sucked somebody
But
in
it was
the face.
one-
What are you
but it was
talking about?
one
He
shot.
wasn't scared to mix it up, though.
It was one shot.
cold
A
cock
fight,
something.
a fight versus the
I'm
game.
just
Come
saying,
on, man.
he wasn't worried about that, though. He was
I'm
tough.
saying being skilled is not the same as having. He had an unstoppable move,
Mhm.
but Hakeem was skilled. He could do more with the basketball, where Kareem had this one unstoppable move. Not that that's all he did, but
Right.
he had this one unstoppable move that made him dominant because he said, "I can do this all night long out to 18 feet,
Yeah.
and nobody can stop me."
Prove
So
it.
that's dominant. And then of course Wilt was Wilt.
Now, I'm sorry, not to cut you off, sir, but was that move a power move or was it a finesse move?
It definitely was a finesse move. It just was an unstoppable move.
Just try to gather some points.
Yeah,
That's all.
I mean, Kareem was a finesse player. He just
True.
had. And reason he's higher on the list than Hakeem is because of that move. It was
Okay.
unstoppable. So it was unstoppable. So it meant it was dominant.
Okay.
So when we talk about these three guys, they had dominant features or moves that could carry them every single night. Now Hakeem had a dominant skill set, which made him a great player. But against these other guys,
And
other
I see what you're saying. No, I see your point. Now, as coaches, which we all are and have done at some point, would you teach, if you have bigs, would you teach them to have a dominant skill set or a dominant move?
it depends on the age. So if I'm an NBA coach and I walk into a gym and I see a skilled 6'10" guy who could do everything, dribble the ball, shoot jump shots, stuff like that, or if I see a 7'1", 330-pound monster that has the mentality of going through everybody and nobody can stop, I'm probably gonna side with that because I know he could do that every single night and strike fear within the league that we're competing in.
Okay.
I don't have to worry about his jumper being off. I don't even have to really worry about him hitting free throws. That doesn't really matter because he's getting N1, so he can miss the free throws. He's gonna get dunks up almost every time.
Okay, so you would, and you would, as a coach, you would hope that the organization, would give you shooters and be able to spread the floor. Because if you're running that type of offense, you can't run the way the NBA is played today. Still, still based on pick and roll, but you can't run that type of offense today.
No, today's NBA I wouldn't. If I was a coach in the 90s or 80s. That we grew up watching, then I would do that. But if it was today, I would take Hakeem over all three of those guys.
I have a question.
Okay. Which is?
In your prime.
Mm-hmm.
Lopez in your prime.
Mm-hmm.
Who would win one-on-one? Because why did I go there?
Yes.
Because I've seen Lopez play. I know you haven't seen Lopez play. Lopez can shoot the ball.
I actually have.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, my bad. But why am I getting here? Because I think Lopez kind of fits. And this is no slight in you, Patton, because you teach the dream footwork.
Mm-hmm. I do.
I've taken that and I've taught it to some of my guys that I would train, even my guards. When they like Kyrie uses it, everybody using that footwork.
I know where you're going.
You do? Where am I going? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, no, I ain't trying to play.
I agree. I actually agree with the point you're about to make.
So I've seen you've played inside.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen your post game. I've seen you play outside. You have a little bit more handle, a little bit more wiggle, right? That's why when we play against the kids, we always trash them. Because I know I can get you the ball because you're more skilled on those levels. All of your phases on the block, you have a post game, you have a face up, and you have a shot. Kind of Hakeem-ish, okay? For right now. You might not do all the shimmies and stuff, but you can dominate on that, okay?
Right.
But Pat, if you guys don't know, Pat, how tall are you? About 6'7"?
Yeah, about 6'6", 6'7".
About 6'6", 6'7". And in your prime, how much were you? How many pounds did you weigh? Because you was a
about 250.
It's about 250. Okay.
Yeah, 240.
So all I'm saying right now is, look, the ball goes up. You got the ball. Are you gonna dance with this man, or are you just gonna put him under the effing rim? Like, you might call a spade a spade. Now I'm not saying I'm not saying he's gonna lose. But what I am saying is, size simplifies a lot.
It does.
It's simplified. Like a Raptor can't mess with no T-Rex.
You could say this, Dev. If we're playing a game, we're playing against each other, and somehow I get switched on to him, the coach changes the play automatically. Whatever y'all was getting ready to run, as soon as he looks and sees, man, you got a 6'2", 200-pound guard on you, the whole play changes. Because now it's the advantage. You have the advantage.
Right. We can say 6'2", we can say 6'3", we can say 6'4", we can say even 6'5" if they don't weigh a certain amount to carry that, to defend you. I mean, come on, Pat.
I got you.
Today's
your point.
game, it might not be. It'd be different because today's game's catered towards.
True.
Will be catered more towards me than you.
But here's what's crazy. Dev seen me play.
Oh, gosh.
Because I grew up in an era. I'm not saying I was, far before my time. I think my thinking was though, because I could actually shoot better than a lot of guards.
Yeah,
so I would step out to 3, and they would look at me like, "You're not gonna shoot that."
No, Pat can shoot. Pat can shoot, man.
Bam, right in your face. So I would a lot of times get the rebound, trail the play, stop at the 3-point line. Because you're waiting for me to dominate you down there, I'm stopping at the 3. Now I'm gonna get this 3. Now I'm gonna get the rebound, give it to my guard. Now I'm gonna go down low. So now I'm making you change matchups up as a guard. But I know what you're saying.
That's a coaching
so the
advantage.
point is correct.
That's a coaching
correct.
advantage because
So
that's you can sneak up on a team.
I'm not going to use
Exactly.
my man's name, but we have
Exactly.
a student that we've all worked with and trained.
yes, you said his name already, so it's okay.
Okay, well, shout out to my guy. We already know, my man Jalen. Okay,
Yep. Jay
you've
Watt.
taught him a lot of moves.
Yes.
He's a little bit. He's a lean athlete.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of fits this dream scenario because he can dribble outside on the perimeter a little
Mhm.
bit.
Sure.
He has a little bit of a face up. So
Sure.
all I'm saying is this: when we played against him and you start to get mad, what do you do?
Key phrase: you start to get mad.
Doesn't matter. It's
It
competition.
does. It does.
Get
That's true.
mad is
That's true.
competition.
That
It's
is
brewing
the
something.
No, I got you, but
And it brews simplicity.
right. So what it also does is it says, okay,
I'm over here.
I'm not only going to embarrass this person or do. I'm just going to go because I know they can't stop this. But
Yep. Well, he's making a
but
point. He's
I
making
got
a
you.
point.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yeah. So if he's I know he can't guard me, so I'm going to take him to the post.
You're gonna
But
Shaq
also
Shaq.
because I want to break his will and I want to make him tired. But also
Oh,
once he's tired.
Mhm.
I know that I can go back out to 15
But
feet,
why
even out
would
to
you
the 3
if you don't have
to
to?
the
Because you can simplify the
Sure, I
game
could.
with
Sure.
sheer
I
strength.
could do it when
And
I could do it
that
whenever.
anger,
Yeah,
that
absolutely
anger
right.
becomes competition. So
Uh-oh.
you cease being the coach.
I see a-
and you
I
now
see-
become
Look
you
at his
now
face.
become
No,
a competitor.
no, I
So
understand.
if
I
he's
got what
doing
you're
too
saying.
much in practice, if he's saying too much in practice, and you're done teaching, because
Mm-hmm.
it's all good when you're teaching because you're trying to make him better.
Exactly.
But when it becomes competitive, now I'm your competitor. So now I'm going to silence what you're saying.
Sure.
And I'm going to go to what I know is the bread and butter.
Sure.
I'm going to get you down in that box, and I'm going to work out.
I see.
Right,
And then,
but-
and then
right.
I'll do what I want to do
Weakness.
after that. But
I
the-
see.
Yeah, exactly,
I see
exactly. No,
weakness
that's
in
my point.
Patton's
No,
eye.
no, you do not.
I saw a glimpse.
You're not gonna start.
he
You're not gonna
made
start
my
out
point.
with that. I'm not gonna start out with
Exactly. I'm not starting off that way. To break will, yes, I am going to do that. And then after what, I'm not just going to be limiting my skill set so that somebody can say, oh, that's all you can do is post me up, or that's all you can do is this. No, I can
Why?
do that
That's all-
because I can, and
but
you
why?
can't
That's
stop
all
it.
Yeah, exactly. Why? That's all you have.
But
to do.
now to further break your will, I'm going to do that and more to you. So you can say, you know what, ain't nothing I can do. Thank you.
So
That's what I
thank-
want you
so
to say.
thank- Why don't you just roll your chair over here?
No dice.
You
That
just
still
you just
doesn't apply.
validated our
No,
entire.
You did.
what I heard, not really, because what I heard Lopez
when
say
the Black
was,
Spaniard speaks,
what I heard Lopez
You-
say
when
was
he
that
speaks-
Hakeem Olajuwon was the most skilled big man out of that whole list.
And he had to be in order to survive.
That's fine,
He had
but he was,
6'10",
but
he had to be.
doesn't take away from the fact that he was.
Does not. Yeah, you're right. Does not.
So off of that, to me, he can't go nowhere. If he was the most skilled, why would you take him on?
But how many years in the league was he considered the best? Besides maybe the
And see, and there we go
That's a
again.
good question.
See, that's my point, because that's a very tough point, because in his prime, you had at least 4 to 5 other big men
Mhm,
that you can put in that argument, and that's what I'm saying. For Shaquille O'Neal in his prime, you had Mutombo, Arvydas Sabonis, Matt Geiger, and like, you know what I'm saying? And no slight to those guys, but if you weren't born in that time, you wouldn't even know who those guys were. No slight to them; they were great, NBA pros. But I'm like, come on, he didn't have anybody that could even challenge that. So you had to give them the best. No, you had to give them the best.
nobody
Shaquille
can
O'Neal
beat
playing in the
Shaquille's
time.
size.
Shaquille O'Neal playing in the time. Okay, so
But he had dominant numbers for
Don't matter
Orlando.
who
he had dominant numbers for Orlando. He had one of the best guards before injury. I could arguably say in the history of the NBA in Penny Hardaway. But they did, for some reason, they could not get it done. They couldn't get it done. He played against Rick Smith, who we know him because we were born in that time. A lot of people don't know who Rick Smith was. He said Rick Smith was probably his toughest challenge. Rick Smith was
Because he's another
7'4".
guard. I mean, another big man who was a little bit before his time.
Another skilled big man. He wasn't super powerful. He was a finesse. So Shaq had an issue with some finesse guys. He killed David Robinson. David is my guy. David was probably the most agile center I'll say we've seen in our generation. But crushed David Robinson. Killed Patrick Ewing.
Lonzo Mourning.
Lonzo Mourning, put him under the bucket. Y'all see the posters up on the Lonzo Mourning. All of them great pros.
Who put him under the bucket?
Shaquille. But guess what? He made David dance. And not David in the Bible.
Yeah,
He
I know.
made him dance on the court
Yeah.
for that whole playoff
He was
series.
all over the place.
He crushed Phoenix.
But
Whoever
he
they,
had to though because he could not physically dominate none of those guys. So it's he danced because that was his way of adapting into his game. There was no way he was ever going to put on enough weight at his size to just play the traditional center role. He had.
But see, here's
he
the
had
thing.
to-
Now, here's what I. Okay, so I'll say early Hakeem. And early on, he was competing for championships and Western Conference Finals and things like that. So early on in the '80s, where you had Kareem, where you had Robert Parrish and some of these tough big guys, you had David Robinson and Patrick Ewing and all of them. Hakeem used to back to the basket and dunk on everybody.
He did.
His game was.
He also playing the 4 at that time too, which is.
I mean, he played the 4. He played the 4 for about 2 years with Ralph Sampson. Once Ralph Sampson left, he kind of morphed into that center spot. So I give you that. But Ralph Sampson really wasn't a power center. He was 7'3",
He
but
wasn't. He wasn't.
you know, and injuries kept him off. So yeah, for 2 years he played that. But when he stepped into the center role, at first that's what he was doing: back to the basket, turn, dunk on you. Back to the basket, maybe a little inside pivot move, a little shimmy shake, and then he's dunking on you. Over time and over it, just as we say with Michael Jordan, I believe.
I'm about to say
Early Mike is flying through the air. He's defying gravity.
Right.
He's doing this. He's doing that. When the game slowed down, when you ask about Jordan in his prime and when he started winning, is when he started understanding the game. He wasn't flying through the air. He wasn't doing all these crazy layups. What was he doing? Picking offenses apart. He was in that triangle. He was shooting his go-to move, which became the fadeaway. Once he became smarter, he became dominant. Once the physical attributes leave you, that's when you have to use your mental. Can you still compete in this game after the physical attributes leave you? After you can't run as fast, you can't jump as high, you're not as strong. Can you still be dominant? And to me, when the physical attributes left my guy, that is my guy. Do not get me wrong. That's my man. Love
Top
Shaq.
4 list is awesome.
But that's great. But once his physical attributes left, he was no longer the same player. No longer was he the same player. He wasn't scary anymore. He wasn't, here comes Shaq in the building. He gonna give me 30. It's like, no, Shaq, we gonna run. We gonna run up and down the floor.
For all 3 of them guys.
The only one I can say I can't say it for, honestly, is Kareem. Because Kareem, even at 40, 41,
He was
was still viable, right? He
Right,
was
so-
still hooking cats to death. Hakeem actually played until about 40 himself, I think with the Raptors.
Right.
And so his game kind of carried through. Not to say, if Shaq took better care of himself, he would have had a longer career. But sorry, it's in my way. It's so I'm trying to make my point. But that's what I mean. When the physical attributes leave you and you understand that you have to now think the game,
Sure.
can you still remain dominant?
I mean, that's why shooters last longer than
True.
like quick guards.
True.
Because, like you said, the physical part, when it goes away, the skills always last longer than the physical talent.
True.
So for Wilt and for Shaq, both of them had the same story. When they weren't as bruising and intimidating, their game suffered because they didn't have anything to fall back on.
Right.
Lou had the hook, which he could do in his 40s, still could shoot that. And then, of course, Hakeem had skills. He had the raw skills to be able to last longer and be productive. But I think what we're talking about with the 4 is domination. It goes back to that word.
Okay, so if that's what we're clarifying, because that wasn't
better?
that wasn't given to me. It was
I
just
thought we started out with that.
the top 4. No, it was just the top 4
4
bigs, and then who has to go. And then we were creating a rationale for it. So
Give us your list one more
if
time.
we sure, we'll go over the list one more time, and then we'll categorize it, because I think that's where you get to even playing and understanding. So the list is Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal. If dominance is the criteria,
That's
then
it for me. Okay.
then yes, I will agree with you guys.
Absolutely.
If dominance is it.
Well,
If we're talking about
Persuade them,
if we're talking about the best and skill wise, then I'm
no.
over here.
Yeah.
Then I'm way over here.
But you should just
But that's what I inferred from the question. I didn't infer who's the most dominant. Because
Just
if
come
that's
over.
what we're saying, then
Okay.
that's what it is.
So I think we can unanimously.
No, it's only if it's dominant.
The black Spaniard.
We cannot unanimously, because Lopez just said, "Oh yeah, well, nah, if we're not talking about dominance, then yeah."
So
Then he
now,
stays.
I said from the outstart, as far as skill, as far as what can each one of them do with a basketball, Hakeem is above
Dev's
all of
getting
them.
uncomfortable in the chair. You heard that? You heard that guy? You heard the system? Okay.
He's trying to act like me. Right?
He's the top of the list.
And I agree with you.
The most he can do the
100%.
most with the basketball. Put it on the floor. He can shoot it. He can.
I agree. Oh,
This-
you
He
agree?
dance with it.
Listen, let's not
But
be.
we're talking
let's
about-
be clear. This is the top 4 of all times.
Correct.
This is a really impressive list you came up with. I'm not even trying to play. Like
I got you.
Hakeem
I got you.
is nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes, he do.
he's super duper skilled.
Mm-hmm.
But we're talking about the top 3 in the history of the game. And I do
In my
realize
opinion.
that Shaq did say in an interview that he would be after But I really think that's him just trying to be humble
And
too.
and you know what?
Because he respects the game.
True. And for that, he's Shaq is probably if you ask me who my favorite was out of that list, he would be, because I kind of grew up with
He's mine too.
him.
Okay.
So
all right, so let's tie a bow on this. What did we agree to?
we
What
agreed
did we
that
agree
if
to?
dominance was the criteria, if dominance is the governing fact,
Who are the three?
then it's Wilt, Kareem, and Shaquille O'Neal. If we're taking skill,
Okay.
raw skill,
Rank this
yeah,
one.
skill is ranked.
Go ahead.
If we're ranking skill, we're going Hakeem, Kareem, Wilt.
I would agree
Will
with
over
that.
Shaq?
Yes.
Shaq only dunked and did jump
Yes.
rope. That
But
was it.
he set people up with some setup moves.
But you gotta understand.
Young-
See, now you
young
get
Shaq.
into the
Young
right,
Shaq.
but now you get into the fact that Wilt Chamberlain led the league in assists. You know, averaging like 10, 15 assists a game, 55 rebounds. Like, come on, all them records and all of that.
They can get, yeah.
You got goaltending, you got 3 seconds, you got illegal defense, all because of this dude. Like,
Yeah.
he can't go nowhere.
I'm actually surprised. So I didn't think we was gonna be able to do this. I didn't think we was gonna be able to come to an agreement of some sort. Now we did have some criteria, and we have 2 different
Yeah,
lists.
you come to a consensus because you have to do that. And it's the whole thing with the GOAT.
I don't need one of
You
those
can't.
lists.
That's fine. That's fine.
Shaq stays. Hakeem's the man. I love Hakeem. He off, bro. Don't matter. I don't need no criteria. I don't need no dominant list. I don't need
So here's where
I'm
that's
25
fine. And that's fine.
list.
That's why, and that's okay. It's okay to
I
have
grew
a
up
very
watching-
limited view of basketball from a guard standpoint. That's fine. It's okay to have that. So we're accepting that he has that, and that's why we're leaving it up
Excuse
to
me.
you
Well,
guys
we
to
actually,
vote
we
on the
actually
list.
can appreciate the skill set because he has a lot of skills that we need as perimeter players. So I can appreciate his skill set. It's just looking at him strictly as compared to the other 3.
And see, and then we had to talk real quick because we got to close this, but real quick, we had the argument.
This has been closed.
Because it hasn't. It hasn't. It's on tape, so we good. Because Hakeem played in a smaller market,
Oh yeah,
could
we
that
did
have
talk about
something?
that.
Could that have something to do with it?
So did I present that to you? or
You did
present
present it, and I thought it was a great point because TV anyway. You had Shaq on all the time. He was must see TV. Absolutely.
And we just named 3 players that all played on the Lakers, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Right. And then I said, well, what happened if Hakeem was a Laker at least for a few years and won a ring or 2 there, playing in Houston?
Maybe a different argument.
But then
Not
you
on
can
TV
also
as much.
argue would he had developed the way that he did.
Yeah. Why wouldn't he have?
If he was surrounded by better players early,
I'm
would
not
he have
even-
had to,
I'm just
would he
talking
have
about
had to develop?
The sheer presence, or not even presence, the air you give off by putting on that Lakers uniform, that would have transcended him past.
Yeah.
They would have said Shaq. Hakeem was here.
Yeah, it may be something
That
to
would
that.
have been a big
It may be
torch.
something to that because historically the Lakers are, probably one of the franchises who were on TV the most along with the Celtics. So
that made me
I
think.
mean,
Because
that's a
when
good
you
point.
convinced me, I was like, well, you know what? Maybe it's because he wasn't on as much. Because
Yeah, honestly, I didn't watch him a lot before '95.
Right. And
Like
see,
I
that's
didn't
what
see
I'm-
him a whole lot.
Right.
I knew he was, but I didn't watch him as much as I did after '94, '95.
so think about the
Which
general
one?
public. We're
Right.
basketball fans.
Right.
Yeah.
Now think about the general public. They might not even. People don't respect how good he was because of what they weren't.
But we also
Able
didn't
to
see Wilt
see.
either, though. We also didn't see Wilt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
none of
but
us saw Wilt.
the
That's
We
right.
saw
legend-
highlights and stuff like. We never really watched the
Yeah.
whole game to see like what does he look like in 48 minutes? Like how
Yeah.
many what shots
But
does he
when you
miss
say
and
that
stuff
he,
like that.
Yeah.
when you say he was dominant, had 100 points, and he wore a Lakers uniform. Kareem,
Yeah, that's
Lakers
a-
uniform.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a trio.
Right.
It's like if you have a Lakers uniform, the dominant big man. That's why Dwight Howard couldn't.
Yeah,
right?
he couldn't hack it.
He tried.
Yeah.
Once you put that
D
uniform
White
on
was
and you're
my
a
guy
big,
early
it's
on,
like
but
that's
yeah.
something different. So who did we say? Okay, all jokes aside, dominant list. Who was it?
Dominant. If you're taking dominance into
Dominance.
consideration, yeah, it's Wilt, Kareem, and Big Fella.
Okay, skill.
Skill, you're taking Hakeem, Kareem, and Wilt in that order.
Okay, all right.
All right.
I don't.
So you guys
I'm just
can
happy you came over.
chime into it. It's
You
not
did.
about coming over.
Welcome.
It's no dice. So would it? I understand basketball.
Welcome.
I understand basketball, and like I said, if you can give me an argument that makes sense to me, I'll say okay. I can see where you're coming
This
from.
argument made sense from day one,
But-
especially in my view.
But
You know what I'm talking about.
as Devin likes to say, but when you take into account skill, and that's why you have LeBron James, you had Carmelo Anthony, you had Kobe Bryant, you had all of these guys who are perimeter players, and mentioned as the greatest players, and all of that in this new generation, going to Hakeem Olajuwon, training with him.
Very true.
To get moves and to understand how does this footwork work. Nobody, and I'm not taking anything away from Shaq. Again, that's my guy.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to Shaq. Nobody's going to Kareem to learn the hook shot.
Which is crazy.
No, I mean, we can't
crazy.
go to Wilt. Rest in peace, Wilt Chamberlain. But I mean, so to me, that him even contributing after his years of playing are done, to be able to teach these young guys and show them something and show them how to be dominant. You showing guards how to be dominant, and you didn't even play as a guard. Like that's something
he uses
major.
his footwork a lot.
Man, that's something about
amazing.
his skill set. He has a transferable skill set that actually extends,
Transcends time.
Transcends time.
And
Right?
that skill set ain't going nowhere.
It ain't going
At
nowhere.
all.
Nah.
So footwork is something that every basketball player is going to need, especially now because now it's all about getting to the basket and all that.
So here's what we'll do, real quick. Let's have, who did we leave off? We left off Kevin McHale.
We could have left off Mikal. You could have left Moses off.
We not even throwing David in there.
David Robinson. No, you got to. Patrick Ewing.
Russell.
Oh yeah, Russell.
Russ.
Sheesh.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great Jack Sigma. You got a lot. There's a lot of bigs that you could. Robert Parrish.
My guy George Marasan.
Warren
I'm from DC.
Left field. Yeah, left field.
The Bullets.
No, I used to watch all the Bullets games, man.
Yeah.
Where Rasheed played, yeah. Shout out to Sheed Wallace.
All right, guys. So listen, I'm curious to see what some of y'all lists are. If y'all want to type them, put them in our comment sections on any of our platforms. Remember, we're on Stitcher, we're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, we're on SoundCloud. What else are we on? We're on all of them.
We're Podbean.
We're on Podbean. Instantgrits.podbean. PODBEAN, not M. Pat.
Sorry.
I saw that.
That was a typo.
I
That
know.
was a typo.
Instantgrits.podbean.com. We're on all those platforms, so just spread the word. Please refer a friend. Support the movement. You need to hold yourself accountable. Everything starts with you.
Gallon of water a day.
What we're doing our gallon of water and 50 push-ups. He's already running for 50 push-ups
Nope,
already.
not 50 push-ups
But do
today.
y'all remember what he said? He's actually going to do 100 because you said that.
Because I don't want to run from that. I don't want to be accused of running.
At the end of this program, you already started running because you didn't even mention it. So,
Not true.
with that being said, guys, we love you guys. Make moves. Trying to make moves here. We're trying to make moves, man. Make moves, move markets. Peace out, guys. God bless.
Alrighty.
One love.
Alright. So what I think we can do, and I think you did a good job of that, is we can add that music when I'm about to close out.
Yeah. I'm a fade it in as we fading out.
Yeah, I like how that sounded when y'all did that the first time.
How you feel, Lopez? You good?
Mhm. Yeah, that was good. That was definitely good.
That's what I used.
Okay. We use it again. I kind of like that joint. We'll change it up next week or
Okay.
next month.
All right, cool.
And how long was that? An hour?
Probably a little bit less. Whoa. Just
Yeah, you can sit right here, bro. You want to sit down?
drive.
Scoot your chair over, man. So what's the next one we doing? Because now you got me excited, Lopez, and we was just talking about the whole masculinity, about how it's applying to the school system, applying it that way as opposed to
What's your
relationships,
thoughts about it? We talk about toxic masculinity
Yeah, see.
or lack thereof.
and how emotional these boys are now, and how tough these girls are, but it's not all their fault. The stuff we see in the
So
class,
you
the stuff we see in school.
right. So when you say toxic masculinity,
That was a key word that's been going
it's
around.
right, and I don't think there's
Like, where'd
any
it come
such
from?
thing, because to create balance, you need a male influence, especially in the school.
It's actually more about the lack of masculinity.
So if it's the lack of it,
So we might say
because
that
they're
bad.
saying that it's toxic, is that's
No, they're not.
Huh?
At least from what I was researching, they're talking about how, and more so relationships. They're talking about how
I think
women feel like there's a toxic masculinity because men don't protect the women anymore. Like when that woman got beat up at
Oh,
the
okay,
McDonald's.
so-
The view of what
Okay.
masculinity is now is now
Okay,
is now
different.
that's the name of it. Is what these now say is this is toxic masculinity. When really what it is the lack of
There's lack of true men.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
And
yeah,
how,
yeah.
so in a relationship, yeah, but then how it carries over into the school, if they see a black male screaming or yelling or raising their voice or being direct with the kid,
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
something, that might be an
we can go
automatic,
different ways.
that might be an automatic consequence with the
Sure.
principal saying, you know, you need to tone that down.
Sure.
You're hurting his feelings. The mom might come in and start snapping on you for yelling
Yeah,
and screaming at
we
the
in a
kid.
female-dominant society.
Yeah,
now.
it's a toxic femininity in there,
Yeah.
if that's a word.
Yeah.
But it's not their fault.
It's not whose fault.
It's not the women's fault completely. It's our fault too as men.
It's not their fault completely.
Because we're not in the house. We're not in the systems.
But see,
It's a
that's
lack
the key
of-
word. That's the key word.
What?
That's been systematically done
Right.
to keep us out of home since the end of the '60s.
I'm about to
even
say,
going into the
there's
70s.
an inception of, like, when we talk about how Section 8 works and how that
Yeah,
system works.
that's all of that's part of it.
Outcome-based education, where now kids are talking about, you know, the way the education works, not 1 + 1 is 2. It's now if you participate in active learning, you get passed on. So that's more of an effeminized learning, where as
It is.
men, we learn by doing. You know, you take your son out and you show him how to cut the grass, and then he does it, right? Not where feminized would be, I'll tell you how to do it, and then you ask me questions, and then you tell me how you feel about it. No, this is how you do it. So from father to son is the masculine way is, I'm going to show you how to do it, and this is how I want it done, and then you do it, right? The feminine version, your mom explaining to you how to do it would be, you know, I might be softening the blow of it, or I may even actually, like, do you feel like doing it? Is it too hot? Like, I'm softening it, where it's not more of it. It's the masculine part of that conversation is out of it.
Okay.
I'm gonna take it a step further. Project-based learning is a feminine perspective look because it's not logic, like you were saying. It's not 1 + 1 is 2. It's not A then B then C. It's all this around about, and there are multiple intelligences, but without logic,
Right.
all decision making, and the most important intelligence, which I think is emotional intelligence, without logic, that one suffers the most.
Yeah.
So you can do as many project-based learning activities as you want. You can have as many women to soften blows. When these kids get out here and they got to fend for themselves,
Yeah.
they don't have that skill. They don't have that grit, that toughness to take a hit and say, you know what, okay, let me try to figure this out.
Hold
so
on.
kids don't have problem-solving skills at all.
And like I said, I'm not disagreeing at all. I think you guys are 100% right. What I'm going to ask us, though, is this something that we want to talk about right now over the Nipsey and the DNA of how to disenfranchise and how to ruin a movement?
You want some more time on that one, right?
I think what we're talking about now will probably be maybe a multiple part thing.
Part 1, Part 2?
Yeah, because we'll have to bring a female in on it, too.
So
And
which,
there's so many different, like I said, we could talk about the history part of it, like if we propose what it is and what we're talking about, right? And then we start with the history of it. We start going back to some of the programs in the '60s that started these things, and then speed up to, you know, maybe our youth, and then come into the now of where we're at now. Like you could really go real deep into that.
Oh, yeah.
well, I mean,
And then going with physical examples from the schools, talking about special education, like all that kind of stuff ties into that.
it does.
You know,
So
so we can go.
the question is this what we're going to talk about next? And if so, I need to figure out a little flow for it, which I can do, you know, because I have so many topics here that tie under that umbrella.
All right. If we do the Nipsey, where are you trying to go with that? Because there's a couple things we can go with.
We was talking about Nipsey, and then I was actually just going to start off by reading. Yeah, he was a good rapper, but his portfolio for the community was just so much more in depth than I realized. And I sent you the article, and I was actually just going to read some of that off, and then. But see, then that ties right into the conscious rapper thinkers that we were just talking about now, or like the conscious hood guys. When you said Umar, and then we said
Oh, man.
David
I
Banner,
was talking
Noriega,
I
even
seen this
T.I.
article
defending
where-
Black, Kodak Black. So I'm thinking we can get current real quick with that
could.
too.
I seen this article where people were, it was like real. So you know, with him, like, you know, there's like a split about talk about his death, right? There's people who are talking about the gang violence and that kind of stuff like
Right.
that. And there's also people who are talking about the more deeper issue, like the
Yeah.
Dr. Sabi thing and all that.
And some saying conspiracy.
And
They
there's-
throwing
and
that
there's a
word
lot of
around too.
people who
I know
are
you're funny.
afraid
I
to
got you.
hear that. So when you
Oh, did we turn this off yet?
if you hit the red button, if you